Hi, are you the new one? Yes. Hi, I'm Marine. Marine, like Maroon, Maroon 5, my favorite band. Where you from? Munich. Oh, Munich. Oh, Oktoberfest. Yes. Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. Okay, well, it's nice to meet you. If you need anything, I'll just be right in there, okay? Okay, bye. Oh my god. Did you see the new cat? He's so weird. I mean, really cute, but like, tough, you know? Ugh, I mean, why do you have to make me feel so uncomfortable? Like, I was just saying hi, being friendly, you know? Well, did you ask him where he's from? Yeah. You shouldn't do that, Karen. Oh, hi. I'm Jordan. I'm about to start a job I hate. So if you like me and you like my content, please like and subscribe so I can continue making YouTube videos. I'm going to talk to you about the 7 worst purchases I have made in my 20s. I'm only 25 though, so I should say so far. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double it, 10 years until I'm 30. This is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. I've spent thousands on things that don't matter or made other people waste their money. The Catholic Church is not sponsoring this video. In fact, our relationship is on the rocks. But to make it fun, I related each worst purchase to a deadly sin. I'm debating whether or not to do a full story on this because it's so ridiculous, but in the meantime, just know I spent $700 on a weekend trip to New Orleans for a crush I met one night in Los Angeles and didn't know very well. It was basically a hookup, but because I was so thirsty and I didn't know any better, I decided to travel across the country to see them. Did I tell my crush that I was there for them, you ask? No. I made up a story. Oh, I'm going scouting for locations for this film I'm directing, and booked a night at one of the most expensive hotels in the French Quarter to impress them. Did I have a good night that night? Yes. Did I leave satisfied? Absolutely. Did I get ghosted because the person didn't care about me? Yes. But it was a lesson I needed to learn. Yes, it felt great to be touched and hugged and kiss and to dance with someone, because that's not something that often happened to me at that point. It all felt new and exciting, and I felt seen. Even though it wasn't a match and I should have Maya Angelou'd it and listened to them the first time when they said they didn't believe in relationships, I needed to have my heart broken to grow back stronger. And I did. Yes. See the little monogram? Let me show you. You see it? Brown, JW. Oh, Burberry. What does it say? It says made in Scotland or something. It's really cool. But see, like, it doesn't go with anything. Like, I just can't. Okay, let's say that let's say I'm gonna dress. I'm going to go skiing, right? That's something that cool that you can do. Okay, maybe I'll wrap it like this, right? Make it a little more casual. Okay, and then it's cold. It's cold, so I have to. First of all, who's gonna see it, right? Because I'm just trying to stay warm at this point, so no one's gonna know, right? This doesn't look. This. What is this? Is this $800? This? Okay, what about? What if I do this? And then, oops. I still don't know how to put on a scarf, by the way. I never know what the right look is. Okay, like this. I guess it doesn't look too bad. But it's just a scarf. It's just to stay warm. This is tied to my New Orleans story. After I realized that my crush only wanted my flesh for that one night and didn't reciprocate my feelings, I felt bad about myself and wanted to reward myself, as you do. That, combined with the little financial education I had about what to do with the itty-bitty pennies I was earning, combined with my lack of financial responsibility, led me to buying the scarf in Los Angeles in the middle of March. For those of you who don't know, Los Angeles is pretty much palm trees and beach weather all year round. So I bought this Burberry scarf. I've had it now for 5 years and I've probably used it about 3 times. I've been skiing, didn't wear it then. I went hiking, nope. I went to rural Sweden, where I was around people who I don't think would appreciate me walking around with an overpriced scarf. Basically, anytime I've tried to wear it, I either felt like an ass or a liar because I couldn't actually afford this, or like an idiot. So now I have this monogrammed scarf that I can only sell to someone who has the same initials as mine. Also, I spent thousands on cashmere sweater and shoes. Colors from every side of the rainbow. Blue, pink, orange, green. I was known as the cashmere and boat shoe kid. Not really, but I'm illustrating a point. I was not cool. I tried to be. Did I know anything about moths or the damage they can do, or that their taste is as expensive as mine? No. Which meant those sweaters got ruined. Do most 20-something guys pay attention to the laundry label? I certainly didn't, which meant that my clothes had a lifespan of about a year, maybe. Food subscriptions. I paid $60 a week on Blue Apron in college. Every Tuesday, I would walk my fat butt down to the shipping office and pick up my Blue Apron box. I looked like a boy who looked like he'd just gotten a big scoop from the neighborhood ice cream truck. Heaven happy. I would cook it and enjoy it and watch my bank account fill back up from $10 to $500 every 2 weeks, so I could ignore the fact that I wasn't properly investing or saving my money. Much of my income was spent on food, but not just Blue Apron. Sometimes I would eat out. It ranged from Sunday brunch, which revolved around $30 food that I didn't really like around people I didn't really like, to $11 avocado toast, $100 sushi plates, and $20 all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue. I could have spent on a trainer, on a gym membership, better quality food. Now I'm happy that I did those things because in a way they made me grow. But looking back, I didn't even really like going out that much. I never really believed in it for myself. I didn't understand or relate to the culture of going out to eat and being social. I was always at my happiest when I was making scrambled eggs from Ralph's and wrapping them in cheddar cheese and tacos. Was it the healthiest? No, but it was cheap. So social pressure got the best of me and I gave in. It was the only way I found I could socialize with people. Keep in mind, my context was being around a lot of people who didn't have to worry about spending money on food. Even though I felt really poor, I spent money the way I did to keep up with my friends. To them, why do the hard work of cooking yourself and being in a place as mundane as your kitchen when you can go somewhere new and exciting instead and have someone serve you? I like the kitchen. And to be honest, the friends who stuck around were people I felt comfortable eating in a kitchen with casually, for the most part. The other friends I have, but in moderation.
I can't afford your friendship all the time, honey.
And no, it's not a red flag. It doesn't mean they're putting me under any kind of pressure to spend money I don't want to. It just is what it is. And in a way, it worked out perfectly. I now spend about 90% of my meals eating alone, and I love it that way. In the words of my father, I can eat like a beast if I want to, except when I'm with my mother because she'll call me out when I'm eating like a prisoner. And for the record, I do believe in table manners, but when you're alone, eat a little sloppy, let your hair down. It's okay to live a little behind closed doors. No one has to know. This might sound like a weird one, but when I was in college, I had this obsession with kitchen appliances. I cooked a lot, so I thought that entitled me to buying bougie kitchen items. It was my inner Catherine becoming, as opposed to what I do now, which is cook with one pot and one spatula for everything that I make. Wonton, one pot. Pasta, one pot. You get the point. So I bought this toaster for $50. It was a nice toaster, but it just toasted things. For a $50 toaster, you would expect that it could catapult you into space or something, or become some kind of time machine. Like, what exactly does a $50 toaster do? I mean, I understand if you're an adult with grown-up responsibilities and you have children, or you need to impress your clients with the newest luxury toaster, but I was a college freshman earning $8 an hour selling camera equipment. I barely used it. I don't eat toast. If I do, I'll make a baguette and put it in the oven. That plus my $400 KitchenAid mixer that I convinced my mom to get me because I imagined that I'd be hosting my college friends and baking for them. By the way, I gave that away recently and I have used it twice in the past 6 years that I've had it. Combined with spatulas and mixing bowls and smoothie makers that I barely used. The other thing is I wasn't settled yet, which meant that I was moving around a lot and I needed to lug all of that stuff with me. A lot of times I ended up with roommates who had the same stuff as I did, so we just ended up having more of one thing and a cluttered apartment. Or they would use that stuff and break it. Also, it's college. Things get rowdy. People would ding that stuff up. So I ended up with the most ratchet looking appliances. I'm one of those people who doesn't look at details, and when I get in trouble for not looking at them, hide and pray that it goes away. I also hate paperwork and giving money to the city of Los Angeles because it sucks you dry and you don't see any of your investment returning. What do they do with all that parking ticket money? Do they fix the roads? Because I haven't seen any improvements in years. Do they just hire more parking enforcement officers? Do they hire construction workers to fix the roads? Because the roads seem to have only gotten worse over the years. As someone who's paid hundreds of dollars in parking tickets and thousands to repair my tires, I can tell you that giving parking ticket money to LA is something that hurts my heart deeply. Now, I drive a lot. I have been since the age of 18. Whenever I parked somewhere illegally or got a toll fine or got pulled over because of a registration fee that I didn't pay, I would wait until the last second to pay it back. That would make it more expensive, either because I had a late fee or it would cost me a day going to the courthouse. My favorite time was when I bought a new car. I say it was new, but it was certified pre-owned. The woman or man who owned it before me owned very nice lipstick. I know because it was smeared on my sun visor when I bought it. Thank you, Volkswagen. But to make way for my new car, I had to get rid of my old car. Now, it was this weird situation where both my sister and I had our name on the title. She owned it before me until she got my mom's nice car, and I got stuck with a hand-me-down 2003 Honda Civic. I knew I had to sell it, but avoided it for the longest time because of this grown-up paperwork anxiety that I have. I ended up parking it in this college parking lot nearby for months. And my sister would constantly ask me, "Jordan, have you sold it yet?" And I would make up some excuse. "No, I'm in Europe. I'm still taking pictures of it. I uploaded it to Craigslist, but everyone's trying to lowball me. I haven't found a buyer." But the truth is, I wasn't really paying attention to the offers. I would check on the car to make sure that it was still there every now and then. And one morning I drove past the parking lot and noticed that it had a huge dent in the rear bumper. At this point, the car has 70,000 miles, minor cosmetic issues, everything that needed to be fixed internally I paid for, and this dent brought the value of the car down by a lot. This, I'm pretty sure, was a warning from the universe to just go ahead and sell it. But no, what does my brain do? I'm going to fix the rear bumper and sell it for what it was originally worth. Instead, what do? I don't even fix it. I didn't even do the thing that I said I was gonna do. No, I just drag it into my neighborhood in Santa Clarita, which is particularly waspy. My new car, a 2015 Volkswagen Passat, was acceptable, but my podunk Honda Civic was an eyesore for these people. Plus, it had all of my stuff from college inside of it, and I hadn't washed it in like 2 years. At one point, when I was overseas, the security tried towing my car because one of the neighbors called in and said that the car was an eyesore. So then I moved it to a nearby street between the golf course next to my house and the hospital across from it. Again, I didn't pay attention to the parking signs. I just put it there and closed my eyes and prayed to the parking gods that it would just stay there until I was ready to be a grown-up and deal with it. But the parking gods are an Old Testament kind of god. Floods, plague, towing. I drive home in my new car to check on my Honda and see that it's gone. I'm panicking, sweat is coming out of areas of my body I didn't even know existed. My heart was freezing, and I knew that if my sister found out, my death warrant was signed. Finally, I look at the sign and see the number of the towing company and call them. Fast forward to me sitting in my car, it's raining outside, I'm right outside the towing office. They say they're closed, but I can see the light on and there's a guy on the other side of the door telling me that they're closed. So I call them. This is Jeff. Hi, my car just... Civic on Riverton? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, we towed it. Yeah. Yeah, so what you want to do is drive down to the DMV. That's $150. You'll pay the registration fee, which you didn't do. Then you go to the sheriff's station, pay $140, show them that you paid the registration fee. Then you drive to us, $140 for the towing fee, and we'll give you your car back. Now I consider this an opportunity. I'm thinking I could give them the car, pay my sister a couple of $100 and tell her I sold it. Even though the day before I had my card declined trying to buy an acai bowl at Whole Foods, but my mind is one of abundance and I'm confident that I'll be able to figure it out. The plan, for a minute, was to tell my sister that I had given it to some college kid who reminded me of her. What if I just left the car with you guys? Well, then we could come after you in small claims court because this is an inconvenience. I might have shown my dark side at this point. I can't remember. Everything just went kind of black. When I get angry, I black out. But the point is, I was left with my Honda in the towing yard. Unfortunately, my moral compass is not as broken as I sometimes wish it were. And I'm just not a good criminal or a sociopath, even though I feel like sociopaths have it easier in the world. I mean, you always hear about them getting the promotions, right? Anyway, I decide to do the right thing and come clean to my sister about what happened. I also needed money to pay for all of these fees, and I didn't want to go to jail. By the way, my sister is still poor. Like, she's got money for rent, toilet paper, and maybe her dog. But I'm a texter. At the crack of dawn, my sister drives the 45 minutes from where she lives in West Hollywood to the DMV in Santa Clarita and pays for the registration fee. She avoids eye contact with me, which is probably a good thing, because if she did, she would strangle me in the middle of the sheriff's station, and that would not bode well for our family. She takes care of all the little fees, and we end up back at the towing office. If you've ever been, it's kind of sad, but also hilarious. Like, it makes sense for the sheriff's station to have bulletproof glass, but the towing office? But then you think about it and you realize, oh, this is a low point for people. And the guys that work there are tired and sad, kind of what you would imagine the Grim Reaper to look like if he were a human. Just apologetic. And he could see the look on my sister's face of disappointment in me and the world. So we get the car, we go to CarMax, and we get an offer of $1,500. The whole thing takes 30 minutes. So I could have just avoided this whole conflict by giving the car to CarMax. No, they did not sponsor this video, but come through. My sister paid altogether $600 in punishment fees. Did she take the $1,500? Yes, she did. Would I have gotten some of that money if I had just been a good boy and given it to CarMax earlier? No, I wouldn't have, because she was the one who bought it in the first place. But that was really a low point because I ruined my sister's day and made her give up her rent money to pay for my mistake. And it was just stupid and wrong and could have been avoided. I ended up paying her back for the $600. It just took a while. And I gave her the Burberry scarf, which she then returned to me because apparently it wasn't her style. Okay, sis. I was angry a lot in Los Angeles. And for any of you who are chronically angry, it's tiring, isn't it? Now, connecting this to one of the deadly sins might be a long shot, but it's definitely sinful. Public storage, $60 a month. I've just checked the stuff recently and it's clothes I've outgrown, broken pots, old spatulas, stuff I didn't need to waste money storing. But I spoke about it with my sister recently and she pointed out that at the time I was probably just too exhausted to make any kind of executive decisions as to what I should keep and what I should throw away. Between hustling for my next gig, worrying about rent and my career and my debt and making my parents proud and my personal issues, I was just too brain dead to make good financial decisions. So I can look back and laugh at this now, because even though these purchases were dumb and unnecessary, all of them, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I hadn't made those mistakes. It sounds cheesy, but they're so dumb that they leave a mark on your brain and remind you to make better decisions, because if you don't, you'll end up in the really dark place that you were before. So if you've made bad financial decisions, please don't feel bad. Laugh at it, take a lesson from it, and move on, knowing that you're more educated than you were before and more experienced.